So I haven't really made a video on the topic of feminism and sexism in quite a long time, mostly because I was kind of burned out with the topic over the years, really. So for a while, I just kind of stood away from making these type of response videos and even talking about it in general. But I think I'm done with that now because as things have progressed, things have not really gotten better. As more people have become woke to the nonsense or getting more woke, we're still getting articles like this, and of course it's on Kotaku. And we'll just let's just jump right into it. So normally I like playing video games quite a bit, and one of my favorite video games to play really like recently has been League of Legends. So very seldomly does the topic of sexism and anything I'm interested in like cross. So I actually am pretty interested in the fact that this is actually crossing with something I enjoy playing. I've actually started making a video series on some of the characters from League of Legends, which the first episode should be out probably in the next week or so, week and a half. So you guys can look out for that. But today's video is not actually talking about the game. This article is actually going to be talking about the employees that work at Riot. So this is an article written by Cecilia, I think that's Cecilia D. Anastasia. I'm not even just a star right there. So she wrote an article which is a little bit of an expose of some of the sexism that is going on at Riot Games. So I'm not really going to go through this entire article like I have done in the past. I'm just going to look at some excerpts and talk about that because some of these excerpts really bother me quite a bit, and for multiple reasons. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. So let's start off. Let's take it from the top, and then we're going to just kind of jump around. So the article opens up with, throughout her 3 years at Riot Games, the company behind League of Legends, Lacey made it her mission to hire a woman into a leadership role. Pause. First sentence. We already have a problem here. We've already messed up here. Why? 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 What? Why? Why do we need a woman in a leadership role? Now, I'm not saying that you can't have a woman in a leadership role. Don't misunderstand me. Come on. But why do you need one? Why should this be a mission? Why should you seek out to hire a woman in a leadership position? Should you not hire the best individual in the position? Would that not be better? You would think. Okay, but this is already just irksome on the face of it. And what's even more irksome to me is the fact that somehow she was at Riot Games for 3 years and she couldn't find one good woman to put. Okay, let's continue. Lacey heard plenty of excuses for why her female candidates weren't right material. Some were ladder climbers. I guess that means that they were trying to focus more on getting their rank up in League. For those of you who don't play League of Legends, there's two different, well, there's actually multiple game modes, but for the most part, people play two different game modes. There's like free, I wouldn't say free, but there's like normal games, so like normal draft pick where you just play a game for fun. And then there's a ranked queue where every time you win, you gain points on a skill ladder, and once you get enough points, you enter a promo match, and if you win those promo matches, you get to another rank. So I think what they're trying to say is some of these females were just trying to climb up the rank rather than like work at the company and do well. Maybe that's what they're trying to say. I don't know. Others had too much ego. Understandable. Most weren't gamer enough. Don't know about that one. A few were too punchy. Not sure that means. Or didn't challenge convention. Okay, maybe this is more my issue with like Riot in general, because Riot has been coming up or designing a lot of champions that are just absurd, just freaking absurd. I don't know. I'll talk about them in my video series, but I guess I could kind of see that based on the direction of the video game characters that we've been getting out, like with the reworks. There've been like a lot of new mechanics that keep on coming out consistently. So perhaps, I don't know if you can call this reasonable, but I guess I could kind of understand if this was an actual reason why they didn't hire a woman, or anyone for that matter. I can believe it because of all the new mechanics that keep coming out with these League of Legends champions. I don't know if it's reasonable enough to not hire a woman, but I believe it. Across the board, you'd have side-by-side similar backgrounds, said Lacey, which is not her real name, but leadership team would constantly... Ine? Oh, Exnay. So that's how you spell that word. Constantly Exnay. I've never knew how to spell Exnay until this day. But leadership team would constantly Exnay any female candidate for leadership. Now, I don't know if this is true. Let's just assume that it is true. Why? There's no real oh, it's sexism, obviously. It's obviously sexism. I don't know why I'm even asking that question. Hiring a woman into leadership position proved impossible for Lacey. She said that she left the company in part because of the sexism she'd personally experienced. She said her direct manager would ask her if it was hard working at Riot being so cute. Nah, that's a bit of a compliment, though, isn't it? I imagine he's complimenting her there. So why is she upset? I don't understand. Okay. Well, you know what? Actually, hold on. Let me read the next sentence. Sometimes she said he'd implied that her position was a direct result of her appearance. There you go. See, now that makes sense. See, this is actually, I'm gonna say, a reasonable. Dare I say reasonable? No. Actually, I'm gonna stand firm on this. I can understand this insecurity with some women. Like, really, I can, because if you're a woman, in the back of your mind, if you know you're attractive, or if at the very least you get complimented a lot, there would be a question of whether or not someone really cares about you as a person, or whether someone's just trying to have sex with you, or someone's just trying to use you for attention. And I can totally understand that. If she is a little insecure about her ability because she thinks that they just hired someone that looked good to look at, I can get that. I really can. I don't know if this is the case. I mean, it seemed to me like it was a joke. Who knows? But well, she said that it was implied, so not really a joke. So yeah, I can get this insecurity. That being said, I can't call it sexism. It's not sexist to remark upon the fact that a woman was hired because he's beautiful. It's a dick move, certainly, but he's not saying, well, maybe he is saying he's inferior. I guess I can kind of get that. If he's saying that she doesn't have the skills and she's just there to look good, I can get that. That does make sense, actually. So she can get a point here, if this actually happened. Every few months, she said, a male boss of hers would comment in public meetings about how her kids and husband must really miss her while she was at work. What the... Okay, person who wrote this article, can I ask you did you practice English class? How do you end this sentence? How do you end this paragraph with this sentence is what I'm trying to figure out here. You set this whole paragraph up with the first two sentences, focusing on how she's attractive. But in this sentence on one of the most innocuous, one of the most innocent possible comments ever. He said that a male boss would say that her kids must miss her, that her husband must miss her. What, are her kids Oedipus? Are her kids just think that their mom is just so beautiful they just want to look at her all the time? What's going on here? Maybe her kids miss her because she's a fun person to be around. Maybe her husband misses her because she's a fun person to be around and she's at work most of the time. I don't know. If she works at a video game company, I imagine she must have some type of a personality, I would hope. What I'm trying to understand here, what's frustrating me about the end of this paragraph, is you set this paragraph up to show me examples of sexism. And I can actually get that this might be an example of sexism if she only got hired to be a pretty thing to look at. I get that, because that would mean that her skills are inferior to the males and she just exists to be a Barbie doll. I get that. But you end the sentence with the most innocent comment I've ever heard in my life. Your children must miss you because you work a lot. Yeah, they probably do. Her husband must be, yeah, he probably does. If she's a nice person. No, man. That's not sexism. That's the most innocent statement you could ever say. One day, Lacey conducted an experiment. After an idea she really believed in fell flat during a meeting, she asked a male colleague to present the same idea to the same group of people days later. He was skeptical, but she insisted that he give it a shot. Lo and behold, a week after that, he went in, presented exactly as I did, and the whole room was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." His face turned beet red, and he had tears in his eyes, said Lacey. They just didn't respect women. Or alternatively, maybe, now just maybe, this could be two things. One, maybe he presented the idea better than you did. Now, this isn't always the case, but I have noticed this a lot. It's not always true, but it happens a lot. A lot of men are much more charismatic than women, and it's more because they have to be, more so than like it's just a normally masculine trait. Like, women are ipso facto charismatic because men just want to have sex with them and they're just attractive. I mean, just, nature compels men to be in such a, infatuated state with women. But men have to become charismatic. They have to try. They have to do something, right? So maybe it's possible that he just presented the idea in a much more charismatic and better way. It's possible. I would need more information. I would need more evidence to see like how this meeting went, or maybe it's entirely possible you just presented the idea in a very piss poor way. It's possible. I don't know. Maybe this is the case. She said exactly. I don't know. Let me say I take it at face value. I still have to ask, why did this nigga start crying? Why? What is he crying about? Because she was right. I don't know. I just thought it was I mean, she said that he brought up she was crying. I don't know why they brought that up, but she was right. Why was he crying? I don't know. She was right, and I was wrong. I don't know why they brought that up. I don't know. I thought it was funny. All right, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit and wrap us up, because I don't want to make it. Like I said, this is a pretty long article. I'm going to be here all day. When contacted by Kotaku for comment on the details in the story, Riot sent a lengthy statement, which we quoted throughout this story. In short, the company said with the anecdotes described in this article are explicitly opposite to its culture. We encountered any contrary behaviors. We dig in to understand, evaluate, and address, the company said. We have a zero-tolerance policy on discrimination, harassment, retaliation, bullying, and general toxicity. Apparently, they don't have that zero-tolerance policy on its live service. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. I actually can be toxic sometimes. Among the people we spoke to, 3 women described being groomed for promotions and doing jobs above their title and pay grade, until men were suddenly brought in to replace them. Both male and female sources have described seeing unsolicited and unwelcome pictures of male genitalia from bosses or colleagues. One woman saw an email thread about what it would be like to penetrate her, in which a colleague added that she'd be a good target to sleep with and not call again. Another said a colleague once informed her, apparently as a compliment, that she was on a list of getting passed around by senior leaders detailing who they'd sleep with. Ooh, my. Oh my. Oh. Oh, wow, okay. All right, let's take this one from Zetor. Getting groomed for a promotion, it's not sexism until men outright replace them. I don't know, man. I would need some more evidence. I mean, taking it at face value, it seems it's entirely possible that sometimes at some companies what they would do is they'll have plans to exactly like to promote someone, but then they find someone that's more qualified to fill in the position, and so then they hire that person and keep the other person there, so they don't really have to like raise their wages and whatnot. And it sucks, and I think it's kind of garbage. I really do think it kind of sucks, but this does happen sometimes. So it's not necessarily sexism, but sometimes it can just be they find someone that can fit the position and they can pay them as much as they want to, rather than promoting someone and having to find someone to replace. Because you have to keep in mind that if they promote one person from one position, then they've just lost that person from the other position, right? As opposed to they hire someone else and then you get to keep both employees. You have someone that is qualified there, and you get the person in the lower position that's still doing there and still has been there for a while. I mean, again, like I said, it sucks for the person who's getting groomed for promotion, but I do get it. Like as far as doing jobs above their title and pay grade, this is a problem here that the employee themselves should have said something. I mean, and this is something that affects women a lot. Well, a lot of women don't like to speak up. A lot of women just in their nature are very passive. If you're doing jobs that are above your title and pay grade, you need to speak up and say something about that, because you need to get a raise. You need to get more money. You shouldn't just be doing that just because, you know, your manager told you to. This is not how working is supposed to go. Moving forward. Now this is the juicy stuff. This is the funny stuff that I just have to say, man. This is juvenile. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. Getting a picture of a dick or whatever, or getting a picture of a penis, I get it, because penises are weird looking objects, certainly, but it's not sexism. It's not sexism. If a man is showing you his dick, it means he wants to have sex with you. Man, there's nothing odd about that. In fact, the interesting thing that I've come to realize, a lot of people, at least in the older generations, not really my generation, even actually sometimes in my generation, a lot of people who end up meeting the people that they marry and date have done so at work. Lots of people, and it stands to reason that would be the case, because you spend most of your time with this individual, you know, like 8 hours a day at this time. And if you think the person is physically attractive, It just makes perfect, normal, logical sense that you'd want to bang them if they're the opposite sex. That's what humans, that's what people do. I mean, companies, I don't understand why people are so weird about this. You don't ever have to have sex with someone that wants to have sex with you. Never. Now, here's the thing. This is a uniquely woman problem. Women are grossly offended when men they're not attracted to try to date them or talk about them in a sexual sense. I don't know what this is. I don't know why, but it's very obvious to me that it's very disgusting to them. You may as well just be a homosexual if they don't find you attractive. So this is why this is a point of contention. It really shouldn't be. Honestly, this can just be solved with, bro, can you stop sending me pictures of your dick? Okay, fine. Done. Or if they don't stop, you take it to HR. Hey, this guy keeps sending me pictures of his penis. I tried to handle it between them. He didn't stop. There you go. Like, be an adult about it. Just talk to the person about it. But again, like a lot of women, they're very non-confrontational. This is just kind of a problem, man. Going back to the first point at the top, just non-confrontation. Dick pics, I guess, are weird. You know what I mean? I guess I don't receive penis pictures, so I wouldn't know. But even if I did, I would just tell the person, stop sending me the picture. Then you just end the conversation there. Goodness gracious. Apparently, someone said that the senior leaders would pass you around, and that's rude. I mean, if someone like brought this up or someone said this to you to your face, and you're a woman, like you don't want to hear that some people just want to like have sex with you and just leave you for naught. Like, that's weird. And I get that, I really do, but that's not sexism. It's just rude. It's very immature behavior. It's very high school-esque behavior. Very essence, just very reminiscent of childishness in high school. But you can't call it sexism, man. And again, if you find this to be an issue, HR, human resources, that's it. 2 former employees said that they felt pressure to leave after making their concerns about gender discrimination known. Oh, okay. 1 former male employee said that Riot's bro culture is more pronounced behind closed doors and hurts men too. One of Riot's male senior leaders regularly grabbed his genitals. Ugh, got a little homo in there, huh? One source said, adding, if he walked into a meeting with no women, he'd just fart in someone's face. Nah, nigga, that's a punch in the face, nigga. You just gonna have to fire me. You just gonna have to fire me from this company. Cause he's no, nigga, no. But see, this irks me a little bit too, right? Because you can't give me an example of a male being mistreated and still try to play this game of sexism. Because if men are being treated horribly as well, there's not sexism. It's just terrible employers working at a terrible company. That's it. I'll finish the video off with this. The bro culture there is so real. One female source said, one female source, who said she left the company due to sexism. It's agonizingly real. It's like working at a giant fraternity. 80% of Riot's employees are men, according to data collected from the employer's driver's licenses. Alright, so let's wrap the video up here. I'm not saying that none of these problems are legitimate, or that none of these things in the article are a problem. There's lots of stuff that I didn't cover because we'd be here all day if I did, but I get a lot of this stuff. Truly I do. I'm not sitting here saying that some of these things are an issue, but I think if anything, it really just kind of highlights just how different men and women really are when it comes to working together. Like, I totally believe that at a video game company, or any tech company for that matter, there's a bit of a bro culture there, you know. There's one couple of lads just, you know, chatting it up and doing their thing. Okay, enough of that accent. I really do get that some of these things can happen, and I honestly believe it. What really kind of bothers me is the fact that a lot of this stuff can really just be solved with a simple conversation. A lot of this stuff is really simple and can honestly just be completely avoided with just a simple chat. And I don't really think a lot of it is sexism, and I don't even think it's probably one of the biggest problems at Riot. There's lots of things you can complain about Riot for, especially with their game League of Legends, and I'll talk about that in my upcoming video series on some of the stuff. I'm going to talk a lot about League of Legends in the near future, but yeah, for the most part, I get it, and I want people to watch this video to understand that. Really, I do. I'm not saying that the things that are accused aren't serious. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that a lot of the motivation is not sexism. A lot of it is just very juvenile behavior that honestly can be solved with a simple conversation. And if the individual doesn't want to change after you just chat with them or whatnot, you take it to HR and you end the problem there. This whole expose thing really kind of bothers me because there's no counter argument. There's no counterpoint here. It's all just a bunch of women anonymously saying that this X happened or whatever. And I can't really confirm or deny any of this stuff, really. I honestly believe that there probably was a note or an email with some guys talking about women that they want to have sex with at the office. Do I think it's immature? Certainly. Do I think it's enough to get you to want to quit your job? Fuck no, especially not if your job is working at a video game company. That's one of the best jobs you could have. You want to quit because someone said they want to have sex with you? I mean, honestly, that seems really silly. So, yeah, with that being said, man, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hope you got something out of it. If you did, man, go and click the like button. Shoot, go and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. As always, you guys have yourselves a great day. I will see you cool cats soon. Adios.